Baldur's Gate 3 Patch 7 is now live, and I'll be going over all the updates and changes in this new patch. I'm super excited, and you can see here that I got a new hairstyle on my character, as well as showing off some of the new dyes that'll be added into this game, because the mod manager is extremely well done. So I'll be going over all of that, as well as the updates in this patch, because there's a ton of stuff that has gotten added to this game. The patch is around 11 gigabytes, so I'll be going over all the changes that came with this, because there is quite a few of them here, and most notably, mods are being added to the game, so I'll be covering that near the end of this video. But this is the notes from Larian Studios themselves and the Baldur's Gate 3 website. So lots of new changes in patch 7 that we've been expecting for a while now. Most notably, evil endings have gotten a big addition with 13 new endings to the game. So they have a big thank you to Norbite, the script extender, and all the mod authors here, which I thought was really nice. I've been using the script extender since it got released, because it adds a whole new layer to what you can do inside of Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm just going to give a shout out to them as well, because that was super useful. But yeah, let's look at all the changes here. This one I think is very interesting. You got Evil Will here. Now, Will being like a lawful good character, a little bit surprising to see this. But yeah, this is a new ending. There's new endings for all the origin characters and evil playthroughs, so that's really cool. So whether you've embraced the absolute power, carried out your father's will, or played as an origin character, you'll find patch 7 introduces 13 new cinematics that offer various conclusions to your most evil playthroughs. If you're a streamer who's very demure and very mindful, show cinematic. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, there is some changes that are a bit graphic that obviously I won't be showing in this video, but yeah, Lae'zel with her dragon. I was super stoked to see this. So Lae'zel's got that added to her ending, and I've already seen some mods that may be adding dragons into the game, and even there is a ranger subclass that has a pet dragon, which I think is going to be really cool. But this was super exciting. It's a one night kind of thing. Now, there was some talk about them adding in the Alfira the Bard companion, and they did. In Community Update 28, they did mention that a certain bard would now be able to join the party as a controllable character at camp if there's an empty slot temporarily. That is the key word in this sentence, because I was stoked. I thought there'd be a way to be able to keep Alfira, but I'll get into that. So yeah, if you get what they're putting down, there are no new companions. There's only death. This is probably the funniest way to put it. Now, the day the music died, that sums it up. So basically, so the Dark Urge kills Alfira. That's no surprise to anyone that's played the Dark Urge playthrough. And there used to be workarounds to be able to keep Alfira, but no longer will this be the case. So she becomes a temporary party companion. If you kill the Dark Urge and go through the whole night, the butler is going to kill Alfira, and he's not too happy about it. So there is no way to keep Alfira, unfortunately, until mods fix that, because I already smell a mod being made for that. But yeah, we now got Alfira as a companion temporarily, so woohoo, doesn't last too long. Some other big updates. New Honor Mode Legendary Actions. This is something I was excited for, because Honor Mode is really cool. It has a whole bunch of new actions for the boss fights that we get into, and there's a bunch more Legendary Actions being added. Now, another thing about this is they're adding the ability to put in the Honor Mode Legendary Actions into a custom game mode. I think that's fantastic, because it really does add a whole nother layer to this game. So let's add into the Nightmare Fuel. We made some improvements to the Honor Mode, giving Malice Thorn a new legendary action called Grasping Appendage. Gross. So that is that there. It's like a little, just pulls you forwards. Now, there's a bunch of them. I went over it in a previous video, so that'll be exciting for people that are playing Honor Mode or a custom game mode with that in here. Now, the big one that I'm most excited for is a new way to mod Baldur's Gate 3. So adding in the in-game mod manager, which I'll be showing off at the end of this video. I do currently have some of the mods shown off in this. Like, you can see my character's hair model's a little bit different. I do have a different UI in the bottom. My favorite mods are broken right now, the WSD movement and the camera tweaks, so that'll come in a later date. But the new dyes look really well done, and there's only going to be an infinite number coming in the future, because this is just at patch, but they look pretty cool. I love the Robe of the Weave here with that blue and black on it. I'm putting a funky one on Minsk there, but yeah, there's a lot of new dyes that'll be added to the game. A lot of new everything. Like, there's multiple categories, and the in-game mod manager is really well done. I'm super impressed with what they've done with that. So the mods are created and uploaded via our toolkit and can be browsed and installed directly from the game itself. This is massive because I've made videos on how to input mods into Baldur's Gate 3. It's not an easy process, and I've gotten lots of questions around it because there's so many things that can pop up. But having it all streamlined through your PC is incredible. That means for people that are using like NVIDIA's cloud gaming, you'll be able to load mods into Baldur's Gate 3 and it won't impact that. So that is massive. And it also manages the mod load order itself. That's another really important thing is with other games that add mods in, sometimes the mod order will break the game, but you can also just easily enable, disable, and uninstall mods through Baldur's Gate 3 itself. This is incredible. So you can manage your mods for multiplayer parties. This is a question I was getting a bunch on my previous videos. So yeah, you'll be able to add in mods for multiplayer, which I think is incredible. So shout out to Larian, they went above and beyond. So the Baldur's Gate 3 toolkit, I plan to play around with this and see what I can come up with. There's a separate application on the Steam store you can download for free that allows you to create mods specifically for Baldur's Gate 3. And scripting changes all through there. I was scripting when I was a young kid playing Roblox many years ago, so I'm going to take a crack at this and see what I'm able to come up with. No guarantees it'll be awesome, but I'll definitely be trying because this game is incredible. So Baldur's Gate 3 now officially supports scripted mod using our Cyrus, our own in-home scripting language. This means mods authors will be able to reload their scripts, handle build errors, and also carry out basic debugging. So I'll publish a mod straight from the toolkit. Whether you want to mod Baldur's Gate 3 or support our third-party mod and managers, you always have that choice. But if you'd like to give our toolkit a go, I do plan to use the ones that are built into the game, mostly probably cosmetics so that everyone can have them. But I'm also going to keep my favorites like the camera tweaks and the movement with the WASD and the script extender, which I still have the script extender working somehow. I think they maybe worked alongside Norbite to be able to make this possible, but that was my only mod that didn't break today, so hallelujah. So you can go do this by going into your Steam library, right-clicking Baldur's Gate 3, selecting DLC, and then you can find the toolkit data that is checked. So that's all right there. Check that the toolkit selected is showing, and you can find that there. So they got a whole bunch of guidelines for being able to create mods. Again, this is on the Baldur's Gate 3 website, so you can find all this information if you're looking for it. But creating mods, I also found on the Baldur's Gate 3 wiki, they have some pages on this. So just kind of talking over how to create mods and how to find them. But pretty easy to find. I'll be going over that at the end. Some big highlights, new evil endings, brand new cinematics for the truly villainous playthroughs. I've watched them all and I'm like jaw dropped. They did show a sneak peek of some of them. I don't want to spoil any of that for any of you guys, and especially for console players, so be at your own risk. Go watch that if you want. I'm not going to cover that in this video just because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but their own mod manager, that's huge. And revamped split screen gameplay. This is going to be somewhat similar to Divinity Original Sin 2. So when playing on split screen, the two halves of screens will now dynamically merge together when the players come together in game and dynamically split back up when they reach a certain distance. This revamp comes alongside other improvements and polishes. This is a long list, so grab your popcorn. So honor mode combat. If Jor Raglan finds himself in the spider pit, he will use an legendary action to make the spiders band together and attack you. The Boulette now has a condition called Diamond Scales and a legendary action called Shedding Scales. The Malice Thorn, which we talked about, has a legendary action. Added new aura and spells for the spectators, Panic Sentinel and Ocular Nightmare. So spectators are pretty rough. If you got the Iron Flask, you can pop one of those bad boys out. And the two Githyanki leaders at both Act 2 and the Knights of the Shield Hideout have legendary actions. And Taurus has a new legendary action called Tarian Dogma. UI, updated the reactions UI so you only have to toggle reactions you want to use. I also have some updates on the on this myself, so it's got a lot of updates to all the reactions and stuff going on here, so I think they did a great job with that part of it all. So thumbs up, Larian, you did a great job. Add a new equipment option menu to the character sheet on controller. Adds a panel to donate magic items to Gale. So some updates with Gale's magic items donating. We know some hiccuping bubbles. So you now, when you go to use a soap item, you use it instead of consuming it, so you don't eat the soap. There's a bit of confusion on that when I talked about it previously, but it's just changing the wording just for funny because people are hiccuping up bubbles. So fix the player character name getting changed. Artwork. So there's some new artwork when you're going around. I already saw it, but unfortunately I didn't grab it on video. Also, another thing in the city is much more quiet. They used to have a lot of loud noise in the background that's now been removed. Like, it's not as bustling in the city, so whenever you're walking around, it's not like super crazy loud. I also noticed my companions are talking to each other a bunch, so that is a change. Like, if I move them around, they might end up start saying stuff, because we already had Minsk yapping a bunch, which I'm a huge fan of. I love party banter, so I think that's another change that came to the game, is they're now going to talk to each other more frequently. So added some fixing on this clipping on certain things. They didn't fix the clipping on the Wave Mother's robe. That's another thing that kind of, I'll get to it later when I show the mods. But gameplay, you can now start custom games using honor mode mechanics. Huge, because honor mode restricts you to one save file even if you continue it. So being able to get multiple saves and have the honor mode mechanics, a big thumbs up from me. The Kuotoa, or the fish people, are now going to come help you in Act 3, as well as the Gondians are going to give us a steel watch for the final battle, so making this questline finally worthwhile doing, other than just spiting Wolburn Bongle. Hair color options will now remain accessible after you choose the bald hairstyle, so you can change the eyebrow colors. Overhead dialogues will now involve characters assigned to a different player, so that's what I was talking about. Minsk and Gale were yapping a bunch. Minsk and Shadowheart were talking about Boo. A bunch of changes there. Group hide will no longer affect summons that aren't linked to the group, so that's useful. Change behavior for selecting camp party supplies, so they don't use too many of your supplies and only takes from stacks what it needs. Can no longer cheese the Gauntlet of Shar, so you can't just walk straight past it. And Shar was going to smite them if they didn't fix that one, so shouts out to Larian for fixing it. Fix a bug where resurrecting Lae'zel would make her appear in the party line, but not in the world. Asterion now has better camp idle animations. We'll just go to camp right now to see what he's up to. And also, Karlach will no longer brush the shaved side of her head. I am so lost without my mods, so we'll see what these fine fellas are up to here. But polish the look of neck kisses and lovey-dovey scenes with Shadowheart for her Sharon path. Oh, there we go. We got Asterion with a knife out. That's awesome. Look at that. That's super cool. So not only Minsk now playing with the knives, so we got Asterion playing with the knives too. That's a big update. I'm happy for that. Writing and flow, dodge some dialogue options and voice lines, a handful of dialogue in the game, particularly to account for edge case flows. So the flow of the dialogue will work a little bit better. Companions will now be more sympathetic to Asterion. Fleeing in the sun is a huge one for me, because it just seemed wrong that they didn't care that Asterion was burning up in the sun. Added dialogue options, asked for Kiss and more of Will's endgame dialogue. So they added a lot of things for Will, because he does seem to have a little bit less than the other companions. So if you're in holographic form in the epilogue, Will won't think you're Lae'zel. Fix a bug, preventing Will's romance greeting from triggering. So players who have a stable, loving, committed relationship with Will now see his romance greeting triggering correctly. Previously it didn't. Asterion there picking away at his clothing. So many cool little updates. Minthara will now react to you having knocked her out in Act 1. So to get her in a good playthrough, she'll now react to it. I've seen that dialogue. It's pretty nice. So that was great. Scripting fixed some issues where resurrecting characters via withers, resurrecting party at night, and automatic camp night scenes would trap you in eternal slumber. So this actually happened to me a while back, where I wasn't able to have a long rest whenever I was resurrecting a character. They fixed that. Fix a bug where Shadowheart will repeat one line when you talk to her after she's resurrected. Fix a small issue with preventing you from commenting on Gale's last name, Dekaros. Fix several instances of Will having an exclamation mark above his head. When playing as Dark Urge, Minthara will never longer act as you accept a ball when you've been stripped of his influence. That's one that really affected me, not on this Dark Urge playthrough, but on my other good Dark Urge playthrough. She was like all excited about Ball, and my character was good line, so it was a bit weird. Also, I was romancing her, so that's a good fix that they made that. Fix a broken kissing scene whenever you give Shadowheart the Idol of Shar. Fix an issue where Jahair would stop following the party. Fix the rune tablets in the Nautiloid. And Clerics of Lathander shall now recognize the symbol on the Lathanderian amulet. Ensure the avatar is prioritized in the main speaker and dialogues related to the Hag 1's Act 1 surrender, so that's huge. Minthara, in fact, now has something to say about Orin. That's another huge change that I was looking forward to, because it feels a little bit weird whenever you take down Orin, who's heavily tied to her story, that she didn't say anything. If Avatar, Karlach, and Will are partners and go to Hells together, they'll now act accordingly during the epilogue. Let's go. Fix Karlach's scene in Avernus not playing if you decide to go with her while playing as Will. Oh, I'm so hyped for that. I don't think they previously reported on this. A bug is fixed, and Will now talk to his father if Answer is defeated after the pack of Mizora is broken, but Ravengard is saved from the Iron Throne. Despite this, to decide his title. Lae'zel will now wait for you a little bit longer, and Lae'zel's idle camp lines a little bit better with hers than the other companions. Rest in peace, Lae'zel, in this playthrough. Reinstated Gale's last line in his detailed explanation of Ceramorphosis and tweaked a dialogue option to react to it. Performance got updated. Cinematics were updated as well. Crashes and blockers. So they fixed a bunch of crashes. I'll be honest, I didn't really have too many crashes in this game. Like, there's a few that weren't great, but I don't know if they have anything fixed related to the Char elevator that's been ending a lot of honor mode playthroughs, but we'll have to see. There'll probably be a mod that'll fix that eventually, but that may block the honor mode progression. Fix a soft lock where you have multiple summons that are surprise, and you switch to a character whose turn is on controller. So they're fixing a bunch of combat. This wasn't previously mentioned, but there's now a bunch of these. So fix form of the dredge, triggering a save throw or frighten when the character is already frightened. Upcast a witch bolt can never longer be used with twin spell. No! This used to be a really big one because it does a 1d12 of damage, so you could upcast that and do a ton of damage with twin spell. No longer. Fix a bug with the goaded condition where a summon companion applied goaded to an enemy. That enemy would attack the owner of the summon. Huge news for the Beastmaster Ranger fans out there. Fix some goblins missing the fury of small passive and tactician mode. Dampen the elements will no longer require a channel divinity point. That's nice. Improved monks deflect missiles by helping the projectiles avoid obstacles on their way back to the target. Monks Clench the Wind now targets 2 people at level 9. They just have to clench a little harder. That's huge. So Clench the North Wind is like hold person. So that's huge. It previously was said it would hold 2 people. Not a lot of people play 4 elements monk, so I don't think that it was talked about too much. But enemy NPCs can no longer use dash again while they're under the effects of the first dash. So that'll just make things a little more difficult. First saving throw for Dire Raven Companion. Bad Omen is now a wisdom saving throw and scales with the Raven's wet level. So that's huge because the Raven Companion is actually pretty useful. Fungal Infestation can now be used as a reaction when killing a target. Nice. The Spectator's Charm should now be broken through damage or by killing the Spectator. The Druidic spells that Halsin gets for free can now be upcast. Woo! You could even cast those if you don't take Halsin as a Druid, so that's cool. Fix Cloud Kill not affecting characters at the end of its range. Fix Infernal Spears joining combat when dropped. Patch some in-game saves that were stuck in combat where the game script was not intentionally pausing them. Reduce the duration of Shard's Darkness spell and the frequency in which NPCs choose to cast it. So that's a big one. Shard's Darkness is a popular spell. So being able to have some changes there is really nice. And swapping weapons between characters in combat now properly consumes an action for both. That sucks. You still only just do it for the person moving the item. So that's kind of big, actually. Fix the mean lock fear condition, triggering a constitution saving throw instead of wisdom. Fix Auntie Ethel's weird magic sword not triggering with counterspell. Combo will now end correctly if you're still in combat after speaking to the Emperor and Astral Plane. So then there's some specifics here for each act. So I guess in Act 1, not too big of ones. Fix Mayrina and Auntie Ethel disguised Mayrina have different health point values. Fix a bug where the combat of the last light lakeside would no longer end if your waves would spawn. Made the combat in the last light lakeside trigger more consistently if you're standing in odd positions. Balthazar should no longer stand idle. Balthazar's reanimated skeletons and Shadowfell now have the shove only and tactician. Increase the HP that the undead nurses resurrect from 25 to 45 during the combat with Malice Thorm on honor mode, so make it even further. We've suggested to Yurgir that when he's invisible, he should take advantage of it and actually try to move around so he's harder to find. That's going to make that fight a whole lot harder in honor mode. Improve feasible Thorm combat in honor mode, so you want to talk himself. Fix his legendary accident hitting himself. Fix the damage. Hits the legendary, now does debuff. So that gets even more challenging. Improve the Shadow Spirit of Land combat. Shadow Friends will no longer disappear in combat as long as they're still controlled. Improve the values of the Shadow Friends disappear. Cazador can now use his legendary action in Mist form. Cyrus now has the alert and legendary resistance in tactician mode. That's going to make things harder. Roland will now become more powerful after taking Ramazith's tower. So that's another change. It's pretty big. Gortash Avatar Tyranny form is no longer dependent on whether it's his turn or not. Made multiple changes to Gortash's turrets that I won't get all the way into. Made Ritual Drain is applied only to Astayus and Violet whenever with Cazador. There's a lot of changes here, so I won't get into all of them because I want to show off the mods here, but you can see there's a ton. Mystic Carrion's action now hits. Answer's friendly lightning strike now on units sometimes attempt blocking the lightning strikes. Viconi can now target Shadowheart with their trademark spells, even if Shadowheart is wild-shaped. The enemy wolf summon in common near the sandy dock of the south. Span checkpoint can no longer use help, and in summer now has Hunter's Mark. Yeah, there's quite a few. So Raphael's Infernal Salve spell now only works on his allies who are also fiends. Gameplay across acts. AI pathfinding got updated. So that's another really big one because sometimes you lose your partner. Sometimes you lose your summons. Fix a bug where combining Wild Shape with a Seeming spell could let characters get reduced to 0 health points but remain alive. Fix a rare issue while druids cannot revert their Wild Shape while playing with mods. Enemies will now drop loot while dying instead of having their ability scores reduced to 0. So that's good, because you can actually kill withers that way. Fix a bug where preventing Shadow Step from giving advantage for rogue sneak attack. Fix an issue causing Tempest Domain Channel Divinity to not deal maximum damage for some spells like Shocking Grasp. You shouldn't use it on Shocking Grasp, let's be honest with you guys. Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt if you can. You no longer open lock containers through trade as if they weren't locked. They also fixed the trader glitch, so that's another big one, because you used to be able to throw items into bags and steal items, but we're going to find another way to do that. Fix a bug preventing you from loot mounds if you dig up. Start a dialogue while doing the animation. Fix some flickering shader artifacts, which were happening on Carlox 10, Justiciar forms, Umbral form. Minor visual glitches, some items flickering, gone. Fix all that. There's a lot of fixes related to that. Summons like cats not being able to squeeze through small holes. I actually had that on my first playthrough, and I thought it was weird. Smithing a companion will scratch balls and will no longer transfer the ball to scratch after a long rest. Fix a rare case where custom characters no longer follow the controlled character. Dismissing hirelings or avatars via dialogue will now function the same way as dismissing companions. There's a whole lot of these. This is a massive list. I'm not going to get into all the updates because you can see here, I might do a separate video talking about every single change, but there's a ton of them. And yeah, this is like an incredibly long list, so I don't want to bore you guys to sleep. I already spoke about these changes for quite some time now, but yeah, you can read the full patch notes on Baldur's Gate 3 website. So I'm going to show off the mods now, because there is a ton of mods in the game that I think deserve showing off. So we'll just go back to the main menu, because that's where all the mods will be. So there's a ton of them. They're extremely easy to download, so I'll be going over that briefly in this video so you get a feel for what it's like, because it's really cool. They did an incredible job with getting all the mods loaded in through the game and making that all work really well. So literally, you just go to this main screen here, and the mod loader is just going to be there. So mod manager, and then you have all the mods here. So these are a bunch of the ones that just got added recently, but you can search, and then on the side here is like different ones like cheats, classes, so you can look at different classes here. Customizations, so you can change like what characters look like. Professor Gale, Short Asterion, Mama Carlock, Big Boo. I want this one. Use Big Boo inside your regular size mints. We'll download this one just for fun, and then I'll show it off just because, why not? But there's a ton of them, so there's like different ones for different races here. So Lil Zell, bunch of new spells, and this is just going to get added to as time goes on. Find Familiar Terra there. Subclasses, UI updates, which I think are great. So this is just the ones that are already released, but there's a ton already, and more to be made. Visual effects, different types of dyes, so you can go in here and get like, I'll just go with one of these here to download. I already have another dye mod. So different heads. I already have one of the Faces of Faerun using faces from different characters, and more to come probably. Different hairstyles, so you can get bangs everywhere. Kay's hair extensions. So let's go and add another one of these into it and just show off what these all look like. But new piercings, new scars, new skin colors, new tattoos, new other customizations, different eye colors. So we'll just download one of these here just to go and show what this looks like. So we got those all downloaded. You can see all your installed mods here, and we'll just go into the game and see what those look like. It'll show you all your mods there before you play it, and I'll show you guys what Big Boo is going to look like. So yeah, this is really exciting. There's a ton of new mods, new updates, and all sorts of fun stuff added into patch 7. I am stoked to see what all this brings to the Baldur's Gate 3 fandom, because I believe that there's going to be a ton of new changes as more people create mods. But just even looking at this is an endless. I didn't even get through, like, still scrolling all the way down. So this is just incredible. I've never seen patch notes this big before, but yeah, there is a ton of stuff that got updated here. So yeah, this is exciting. You got different artwork changes, animation changes, it goes on and on, different sound endings. One of the biggest things that I noticed was whenever I'm in Act 3 in the city, it's not as loud anymore, and you can hear individual people talking, so that's a pretty nice one. So they added a lot of writing changes. So I added a line where the Dark Urge contemplates arson. So yeah, tons of things there. Oh, we already broke the game. So I don't know what's going on with Minsk there, but I feel like the boo. Oh, where's his shirt at? Where's our boo spell? Oh no, there it is. All right, let's see. Not enough space. Big Boo, what's up? Oh my God, it's Big Boo! Wow, that's great. So, yeah, this mod probably broke Minsk there, but geez, Big Boo is hilarious. That's so good. But even just I'll show off what some of these cosmetic mods look like. Yeah, it's so funny. I bet that's the mod that broke things there. But yeah, that's the thing with mods. Sometimes you gotta load and unload mods to get them to work. So this is the multiple faces mod, so we can add different faces to the characters. These are based off of faces that we see in the game. I just like the basic old ones here. But adding in like extra hair, I think that's pretty cool. So you can really customize your hairstyles beyond what we previously were able to do. So that's really nice. You can really come up with your own unique hairstyles here. And this looks like it does have pieces from other different hairs, so you can kind of put all of them together and make your own unique hairstyle. This is really nice. So this just adds all the bangs to them and a bunch of bangs from other characters here. So that's cool. And then also we got a bunch of different eyes here. So if we go to all eye colors, I'm not sure if this, oh, this has got some different blues than were previously in the game. So there's a few different colors here. I'm sure there's going to be much more if we go through and look at the different mods, but yeah, that's cool. Different makeups, different hairs. So here's the different hair that I was showing off there. We got this abomination of a haircut mixing two of them there. So yeah, you're going to find the things in different areas, so you can kind of like piece them all together based on what you want your character to look like. But yeah, I'm going to go fix Minsk and Boo there, because this is a little bit messed up. But yeah, just want to end off with this here because I'm so excited for patch 7 and all the things that are going to come with this patch. So yeah, I know this video was a bit long, but I just want to show off a bunch of the changes that came with patch 7, talk about them, and show off Large Boo here. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already. I appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.